a special Skype Transatlantic episode of the Rake for you guys with the one and only Spraggy as our first Skype guest, coming to you from Gloucestershire, England. He and Jamie is in our studio in Vegas. Obviously, we're all quarantined and will be that way for the foreseeable future. But we're going to do this format for now until things kind of blow over and have some fun guests for you guys. So first one, we're excited.
Yeah. Good to be here. Good to be on. Thanks for having me.
It's nice to see you guys. I'm sure I wish Crouton could see you guys too, because he's really the only one getting ripped off here.
He's my
he
spot.
loves Yep. He loves when Marle comes over, and now he's just he's like, what the hell? We're doing a podcast. Where's my friend?
Oh, I miss you, buddy.
I'm sure he misses you too. Look at him. He's like, what the heck? But he does have more space. He's pumped about the more space. He's like, finally, I get my co-host spot.
Yeah. He's got so much love, though. I'm sure he's loving all the attention of you guys.
He's the most excited. We haven't left the house, and he's like, this is my dream. So Crouton might be the only fan of the coronavirus because he has no clue why. We're just hanging out at home.
Oh, the sweetie.
And dogs can't get it either, can they? I don't think they can't be affected by coronavirus from what I saw the science. I only know that because I saw someone tell a joke on Twitter that was like, the World Health Organization have said that dogs can't contract the COVID-19.
Yeah.
Who let the dogs out?
Mm.
WHO, because of the song.
Yeah.
Who let the dogs out?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's safe. He's fine. And cats too, I think. So Olaf is all good.
Yeah, we just got a cat, so.
Well. Yeah, I wanted to see, and Crouton wanted to see the cat, but apparently you guys purposely got a grumpy cat that likes to be on its own.
We did.
Well, we got a pretty miserable cat. We went to we went out, and obviously with Marle being here a little longer than she had planned to be, due to circumstances, she was missing Chauncey a little bit and said, "Oh, can we go to is there like a rehoming shelter? Can we go see some cats just to see some cats?" So we happened to be out. I was like, "Yeah, there's one just down the corner." So we went around the corner, went in, and within about half an hour, we'd signed up to adopt a cat, hadn't we?
Yeah.
And then picked him up the next day. Mm-hmm. But they really tried to push. There was a couple of kittens. Luckily, they didn't have much in. There was only, I think, 4 or 5 cats in.
Yeah, it was good.
And they had these 2 kittens that were 9 months old. Mm-hmm. And they were like, "Oh, they're great. They come as a pair. And they're 9 months old. They're really friendly. They're really nice. They're really sweet." And then on the board, they had a poster. And they had this one cat called Olaf, who was like, he looked like the angriest cat there is. His whole expression is angry. And I was like, "Oh, what about this guy, Olaf?" And they're like, "Oh, he's very independent, and he was with a family, and it's like, oh, he has bitten before, and he scratches a lot." And he's like, and then we went in to see him, and he was stood there like this. And I was like, "Oh, so how long have you had the kittens?" They're like, "Oh, a couple of days, but we've already got 2 or 3 people interested." I was like, "Oh, what about Olaf?" And they're like, "Oh, he's been here for months." So it's
I was like, poor cat.
I was like, all right, well, Olaf's definitely coming home. So now we have him.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
That is so nice, because I think the longer they sit in shelters, the more unwanted people think they are, and then they just live there forever.
Yeah.
So that's so nice. And also, I mean, it's amazing to just adopt a cat with your exact same personality.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
It's the Spraggy. Katie Lindsay missed that too, actually. It's the Spraggy of cat.
Yep.
So, but yeah, he sleeps in the bedroom, doesn't he? And then, but it's just he just stares at us. And then if you go to pet him or you give him too much fuss, he just walks off.
Yeah. He's not bad. And I think all things considered, he's going to be great. So I'm excited about that. So how are you enjoying your super lockdown?
It's weird. I feel like every time I think about feeling sorry for myself that I have it so much better than everybody else, because I'm playing online poker. It's fine.
I
don't know. I have my boyfriend, I have my dog, a couple of friends around, and Jesse, Sylvia, and Ashley Sleeth kind of stopped going out at the same time I did, which was right after the poker awards. So they live right down the street from me. So we can eat dinner together. We watch Survivor together. So I'm not really in as bad a shape as people who live by themselves in an apartment somewhere busy. New York City would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I have it that bad. I really feel bad for people who like deal poker who can't make money. And then also people who just don't have online poker, like what are they going to do? Just be really super bored. And then people who are like in areas where everyone's sick, you can't even really like get food delivered or anything like that because you just like are taking a risk every time you like do anything.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, similarly for us being here, obviously we're kind of out in the countryside a little bit. So we feel a little bit, there are cases here, but I think we're up to sort of 10 cases in the county now and I'm sure that testing isn't as rigorous out in some of the, rural areas here, but it's still, it's very much easier for us to distance ourselves, right? Like Marle went for a run earlier and it's fields, right? So you're not really coming into contact with too many people. And in general, it's not like being in London where in order to live life, you have to come into contact. We go down to the local shop. It's pretty easy to nip in, grab stuff, as we have, a few times, haven't we? But, we're really limiting contact with people. And we stopped going out sort of 4 or 5 days ago, didn't we? In terms of like going out and just getting food and stuff. But I think it's going to be, hopefully, I think we're in one of the probably less affected areas. And as you said, we're very lucky that Marle can work on vlog stuff here and study some poker. And obviously as a streamer, like you say, entertainment's very important for people at the moment because they're kind of bored, doing the responsible thing. But ultimately, like there's only so much stuff you can do. So I think streamers and content creators not have like a direct responsibility, but it's nice. It's nice because some people aren't going to have like friends to talk to, or they're not going to, then, they don't go out, they don't see people. So it's nice for them to be able to go on Twitch and just have a bit of a sense of normality for a little bit, right? Like there's someone there that they can talk to or hear from.
You might prevent somebody from going out. Like if you're doing something on Twitch and someone is like fine watching you and they feel like that's like enough social interaction and like you're chatting in the chat box, maybe they don't go to their friend's house, or maybe they like don't go out real quick because they're not bored. I think people doing Twitch and any other kind of like entertainment should just keep doing it and like know that you're keeping some people indoors, keeping them entertained. Probably like maybe that's your part that you're supposed to do right now.
Yeah, I think so. But like you say, it's from a financial perspective as well. It's really we are very privileged. We're very lucky that we can play online and obviously stream whatever. But it's just it sucks. There's so many people who it's all very well. Like everybody would love, I'm sure, to say, "Oh, stay in the house, don't go outside." Everybody would love to be able to do it, but there are some people that's like you got to choose between that and paying bills or being able to support your family. It's very, very difficult times.
That's the part that sucks the most. Like I want to shout out Win and Encore for doing the right thing. Like they announced Sunday they would not have any more poker. I think they closed down their whole casino. And they're also paying their full-time employees. So like the people who would have to choose between like paying rent and keeping healthy get to just stay at home and like do whatever they think is the right thing, which is probably sit at home, like don't have any social contact, don't go out. And they're still going to be okay. And then let's contrast that with Venetian, who announced today they're going to do their part by making their tables 3-handed. Like that's going to help anything. I feel like those half measures that make people feel like they're doing the right thing is like worse than doing nothing at all. Because those people are like, oh, we're safe. We're playing 3-handed. We're not like touching anyone. Meanwhile, they're touching their cards and their chips, and like the dealers are at risk and they can't just stay at home and like collect their paycheck until this blows over. Like what a joke.
It's almost the employees that you have to think about more, because the players can choose to stay home. Like if they come to play and they are aware of the risks as everyone is, it's like they kind of have no one to blame but themselves for doing that. But if you're an employee being forced to come in and not getting paid, that's the people that are really getting hurt. You know what I mean? It's not the poker. If you go play poker at Venetian right now, you're kind of stupid, honestly. So
yeah, you're risking other people's health.
So,
and I know like some people need to play poker to make money, and I understand that too. Sure. I know like it just sucks for everyone right now, but dude, I mean, at least take this week off. Like everything points to this being the most important week for you to take off. Like when you look at Italy and China, like the social distancing in the beginning was the most impactful thing. So it's like, if you even have a spare $200 and you could just like buy yourself some random groceries and just sit still and don't go out, that's like the most important thing that you can do. And I don't know, I've gotten in like I don't think fights is a good, like just little arguments with people that we're putting super selfish things on Instagram and on Twitter and whatever. I'm just like, can we really not take 1 or 2 weeks off? Like maybe eventually like you'll have to go do some stuff and like take care of business. But if you can't take 1 week off, then you are a failing poker player to start with.
Right.
I was gonna say that if that hurts the bankroll that much, maybe we're playing underrolled. For sure.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think the most frustrating thing is obviously there are some situations where hands are tied, right? Be it with whatever, people have to play, people have to work. But the most annoying thing is the people who have a sense of bravado about it, and like there's people tweeting with pride, like I'm not gonna let this like stop me from living my life. It's like okay, but it's like that's fine if it's only you getting sick. But the problem is those people's behavior is going to impact everybody else, right? So it really is a pretty selfish thing to do. It's kind of crazy that people brag about it. I don't understand whether they're deliberately ignorant or just like they want some sort of sense of they don't give a fuck or whatever, right? It's odd behavior. It's frustrating. It's
like a show of strength. They think it's like a show of strength to be like, screw this coronavirus, I'm going to do what I want. And it's like an attitude that a lot of Americans have that I find really annoying, where it's just like, we're individuals, like we're going to do what we want. Like this is like our choice. And I'm like, that's great. But like, you are going to kill old people. If your choice is to be a jerk and say, well, it probably won't affect me too badly, and I don't really care about other people. Like that's a crazy thing to be proud of. I don't understand it. And I just find it like so obnoxious. Some people are just like contrarians for the sake of it.
Yeah.
And in this instance though, I'm just like, you're just saying I'm a selfish asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of implications that people have been talking about. We mentioned earlier that obviously online poker is booming, but obviously like to what end and at what cost? So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, obviously from a ton of, I say it's great. I don't mean that in any sense like the outbreak's great. I mean, the guarantees are going up. Actions, there's loads of people online for online poker, which is great for online poker, but it's like who really cares in the circumstances? It all seems kind of I don't know. It kind of feels a little irrelevant that those guarantees are being met or they're being doubled in some instances. It's just like, okay, action's good, but it's very hard to feel any sense of positivity around that.
Yeah, but it's okay to enjoy a thing. Like,
right. Listen, Jamie, I don't enjoy anything, even if coronavirus aside, I try not to let myself enjoy too many things. But right now, whatever. But yeah, I mean, listen, the good thing is that whilst people are quarantined, we have online poker to play. You have something to do. You have a way of interacting. You have time. You pass the time playing a game that we all love. Obviously, it would be great if that was more widespread in the United States. Yeah. Obviously, we're very lucky here in the UK that we have access to legal, regulated online poker. You've got a couple of states, obviously Nevada. I think I've seen a lot of like Brad Owen vloggers and people jumping online, which is great because it does mean that those communities don't come to a complete standstill. Right? They don't come to a complete stop. But yeah, it's hard to feel good about like guarantees going up when you cycle it back to the root cause,
For sure. But I just think don't feel guilty. Like this is a side effect. It's not hurting anyone to enjoy playing online poker and be like, wow, this prize pool is huge. I think it's a really good thing that Nevada WSOP.com added a series where it was supposed to be a live series. Yeah. They canceled those and they moved it online. So we have another online circuit event. And the fields have been huge. And all I'm thinking when I'm playing them is like, these people are people who are not going out. And that's like really awesome of the poker community that they have the ability to play live poker right now, but they're sitting at home playing online. And I'm like, thank God. Because, if people do need to make money and WSOP didn't do this, they might have been out playing somewhere else at the Orleans or at Venetian or something. So it's good.
It's also, a lot of these new players are obviously recreationals or, just want the one-off kind of poker player. And it's interesting, like, it's promising to me that the economy's not doing that bad or people aren't hurting that bad because they obviously have that extra discretionary income to kind of go play a tournament if they're at home. Like if people were really, really hurting, maybe we wouldn't see those numbers. So maybe that's a good sign for the well-being of people. I don't know, but I don't know. Hard to say.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, it's just nice for people to have somewhere to pass the time, I think.
Yeah.
And the more engaged they're going to feel with something, like you say, Jamie, the less likely they are to go out and potentially spread the virus.
Yeah. Spew. So,
speaking of new people playing online, you might be starting streaming, eh?
Yeah, so I'm going to be definitely streaming in the next, probably when this comes out, I will be on. So if you want to check me out, Marle on Twitch, I'll be streaming on Run It Once and just playing cash games and just fooling around with it. I've never streamed anything. I'm really not an online player at all. So I'm going to see how I like it. I might totally hate it. I've made a few guest appearances on Spraggy's, so I've gotten my feet wet a little bit. But
I really enjoyed your guest appearance when the guy hit the 8, and you're just like,
yeah. By the way, for one of the biggest bounties, I've ever played for on stream, because it was the $530 bounty builder, which is one of the higher daily buy-ins, right? I don't even normally play 530s daily. Yeah. So I'm out here shot taking. Guy goes all in, and he was the biggest bounty in the tournament because it's a progressive bounty tournament. He had $2,500 bounty on him, right? That's like a small family car, right? Like in a reasonable environment, that's like a package holiday for 4, right? I'm all in. This guy jams like 10 bigs. I've got ace queen. I shove all in. She's going, what about the guy behind? And I'm like, the guy behind, right? He turns over ace-8 offsuit. I've got ace-queen suited. Bang, 8 on the flop. You can watch the videos on my Twitter somewhere. And I'm immediately like, cheese, you know? And she just like giggling away. And has to like hand over her mouth, like hiding the giggles. Like a child.
I couldn't believe, I was just like in disbelief.
So was I. But I enjoy having Marle on the stream.
I think Marle's going to be an amazing Twitch streamer if that is how she responds to your losses. It would be really funny if she's super serious when she loses. She's just like, this game's so unfair, man.
And here's the thing, right? That happens to me. She's a guest on my stream. I miss out on the $2,500 bounty or whatever, and she's like giggling away. If she's playing like whatever you're going to start at, I'm sure if I'm watching and I like said anything about like if she loses a pot and I'm like haha, like I'm getting like stared, I'm getting shut down. If she loses like €10, I'm in the biggest trouble.
Yeah,
I know for sure. Marle's going to do very well on Twitch. She's very funny. I think she's well cut out for the platform. My only concern is that she'll be banned within approximately 2 to 3 days.
I think she runs the risk of pulling a big dog pocket 5s where she's she's getting the lotion out, she's getting the tissues out, she's looking up some weird porn that we haven't even thought about. She's a freak, and then all of a sudden Twitch is like, "I'm sorry, you've been banned." Yeah, does she even know about this scandal? Do you even know about that? Oh no. Wow,
do you know about big dog pocket 5s?
No.
This was the glory days of Twitch. Where, hey, you know that button that I clicked that says stop streaming and then everything shuts down? Mm-hmm. He didn't click that button, and then he accessed pornographic material on his computer and began masturbating. And obviously people are still in the chat like, you might want to turn your cam off, mate. So obviously make sure you shut down.
Was it like super weird too?
It was the weirdest. The porn he was looking up was like... what was it? Not comatose, but like...
Yeah, it was not...
Really
it was not two consenting adults having, recreational intercourse.
Mm-hmm.
It was out there. It should never have been broadcast or seen the light of day. But
and how far did it get into it before pulling the plug?
I feel like someone texted him before he actually like...
Oh, okay.
He realized.
He was like scrolling. He's like, what do I feel like getting into today? And, luckily he didn't just have something queued up right away or we would have gotten a show.
But if it was ever going to happen to a streamer, he was probably the best guy for it to happen to, because like he didn't give a fuck anyway. Like he would just like...
His wife didn't either. His wife was like, whatever, I know what he's into. It's fine. I was like, this is amazing. This is like the healthiest relationship I've ever seen. Yeah,
he just used to stream, drink like a 24 pack of beer, like deep in the Sunday Million, was like drunk out of his mind by the end of it. And then I think he tried, I think even after that, you'd think that would be, God forbid, right? If that happened to me, and it doesn't, because I'm not into that stuff, obviously. I don't engage in that sort of stuff. But let's say hypothetically,
he's never masturbated in his life. His body is a temple.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a spiritual thing. But if something embarrassing like that happened to me, I'd never show my face on Twitch again. I'd be done. But he came back. He was like, on a couple of days later, it's like, all right, we're going to play the Big 22 today. We've got the Vanderbilt 44. It's like, you know? People don't forget.
But didn't that just like give him more popularity until he got banned?
He was really popular. But you're talking now sort of the early days of Twitch. It was a little bit more Wild Wild West. You had Big Dog like getting drunk all the time.
Yeah.
You had a guy called Sticky Rice who
I think I heard of this guy.
Yeah, he was crazy, and he would slow roll people. He had cameras set up all around his house.
Yeah.
Where someone went all in, and he had like top full house, and he just like switched between cameras of him like running around his house like cheering, and then run back to the computer to like call on the slow roll and stuff. Like it was a lot more. It was just a little bit more outrageous back then. And then boring people like me came along and ruined it.
Oh.
Yeah. But what are you going to do?
But you
can't see right now because of the thing, but Jamie Kerstetter is nodding. She's just like, yeah, you boring.
Boring.
It's time for your favorite part of the pod, plugs for our sponsors. March is a great time to join Run It Once Poker because of the Legend of the Green offer. Make your first deposit before the end of March and receive 4 weeks of boosted Legends rewards, allowing you to earn up to 90% total rakeback. You will also get lifetime access to the Run It Once training cash game course from the ground up. Sign up now through once.run/green, and you will also receive a 100% first deposit bonus of up to €600.
And a big thank you to our other sponsor, Run It Once Training, the best place to learn from players much better than us. If you sign up through once.run/learn, you'll get free access to 3 of their elite videos, so go check it out.
We should run this every week, and I'll just become like a relationship counselor for those in quarantine.
Yes. We're gonna need it. We haven't been fighting too much. We haven't.
That face is so good.
We haven't been fighting at all, have we?
We had a little tiff today, didn't we?
Did we?
Just nonsense. But no, we've been okay. Considering that we're like
I'll tell you right now, I thought we'd been fine. So this is news to me. On the pod, I thought everything was going swimmingly. And all of a sudden it's like
it is.
This is great. You guys, should we do separate counseling and then together? Like I'll have Marle on first and I'll be like, Marle, tell me about everything that's going on with you guys in quarantine. And she'll be like, it'll be like a 20-minute pod where she just rags on you. And then I'll go to Spraggy and he'll be like, everything's great.
Yeah, everything's all right. Everything's fine.
I know.
I'm pretty sure everything's fine. And then 20 minutes of, well,
because sometimes like it's mostly just me getting mad at him and being like, don't do this. And then like afterwards I feel bad and I'm like, oh, why did I have to pick that fight? And then he doesn't even think that's anything out of the ordinary. He's like, that's just how you are. That's just your normal tone of voice.
I know what I signed up for.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I'm glad I did.
Oh.
Oh, God, this is disgusting.
Yeah,
I'm going to talk so you guys don't have to watch this disgusting behavior.
But we're having a great time. We are having a nice time. And obviously, do you know what? It's like the guarantee is going up.
Yeah.
Or it's like the prize pool's going up. Am I happy that Marle's here for an indefinite period of time and we get to spend a load more time together? Yes. But obviously, I wish it was under less strenuous circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is kind of good because we talked about before how in long distance, like it can be like, and it's kind of how our thing has been is like, it feels almost like a vacation because every time you're together, you just like go out to eat all the time and you like every day is like you're doing activities. And this quarantine, like the last few days especially, has been like obviously just like real life because we can't go out and do anything. And so it's just literally like mundane, like life shit. So this is really like the test, I feel like. The true test.
Yeah, that's a real relationship when you just have to like go about your daily life, like do some work and stuff like that. But it is cool. Like I was saying to Chris this morning that I'm just so lucky that the person I'm with is on the same page with this because you put each other at risk if you're not. Like if I was like, no, I'm self-quarantining, I'm staying home, and he's like, okay, cool, I'll be at the pub, see you later. I'd be like, wait. But it's nice to just be like, okay, we both think this is a really important thing to do and like that it's really scary. You don't want to hurt other people and all that.
Yeah. Plus we have so much to do. We're lucky. Like he's so excited about streaming and so am I, and like working on our stuff at home. So that kind of helps. It also helps we're in the middle of fucking nowhere. So like our options aren't like go to the Wynn or like go have fun in Vegas, like go to fun, like whatever. We're literally our options are like go pet sheep or like
you can't do any. There's nothing to do here anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could go for an ice cream up on the thing, but
it's limited.
It's very limited, but that's nice. That's especially times like this.
Yeah, it's like the perfect place to be.
And like you said, the good thing is, let's say we were in London and we wanted to go outside. You go outside and you've got 1,000 people on top of you.
Mm-hmm.
If we wanted to go for a 3-hour walk and not see anybody, right now we could, right? Like we could go up over farms, footpaths, whatever. So it does. We're not being careless, because make no mistake, there is the virus is here, and we're being smart like that. But we're not in such a restricted environment as everybody else, because we can go to areas where there are no other humans.
Yeah, that's like, I can bring Crouton to Red Rock and just pick one of the paths that nobody goes on. There's like a bunch. So like we can still get exercise at least. And like, that is a good thing, because in Italy, they have mandates now where like you have to have, I was reading this yesterday and I was like, I have no idea how people police themselves in this way, but you have to have a handwritten note of your objectives for leaving the house. So like if a police officer stops you, you're like, I'm going to get groceries, or I'm like going to get sinus meds or something like that. You can't be walking with another person. So like people who are walking their dog are like walking their dog by themselves. You can't be like within a certain number of feet of people, because that's how crazy it is there now, like how bad it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw a video of like police just walking through neighborhoods, like making sure no one was in the street and stuff. It was like really fucking ominous. It was weird.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, how do people, the ones who are like proudly posting about being at bars and stuff, like how are they in that mindset still? Yeah.
It's just like absolutely like mental. I mean, the people, I understand that just like have to go to work and like work in places that you deal with people. Like, it's like, what are you going to do? But people who are just I think it's a lot of young people too. A lot of young people, and obviously super duper, like you were saying, just contrarian, like who just want to disagree with anything that the government is supporting. Like, just, but
that's, I think there's going to be like an additional spike in like 10 days or however long it takes to like incubate in a person, because spring break was so crazy. Like people in Florida were just completely ignoring it. And it's like really wild too, because I'm like, cool, you're not risking your own life. You're risking other people. Like that's where it's like, dude, the people who like skydive and like cliff jump and do all that stuff, I'm like, right on. It's your life. You do whatever you want with your own life. But this is where it's like, it's even like more gross to just have that attitude when you're going to be fine and someone else is going to be in the ICU or waiting for an ICU.
And what we're all kind of waiting for is for the, the peak to go down, right? For the cases to level off. And the longer that these groups are going on, and the longer it's being spread, not only are we risking lives, but it's just going to take longer for the storm to calm down. You know what I mean? So like all of us sitting at home, we're going to have to wait even longer because they're prolonging it by just spreading it around. Whereas if we just like bite the bullet, and then it will just go away quicker.
Yeah, in Wuhan, it's actually crazy. Like they were posting videos with like the healthcare workers who've just been in a complete nightmare for a month straight, like having to work every single day, long hours. They were doing like a little celebration video of having fewer sick people coming in than like the week before and the week before. Mm-hmm. So that's like, so in a month, like they did a lot of good things. Like they completely quarantined their whole city. I mean, I can't see Americans, like we won't even quarantine ourselves from going out one fucking night.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. On a happier note.
Yes, happier note.
I just remembered that you have been doing YouTube videos a little bit. If you want to talk about
I've been making some YouTube videos, but they're not very good.
He's trying to make his foray into. You should really pump that up since we're at home.
Yeah, I'll make some more. If you want to watch, just search for Spraggy on YouTube.
Spraggy on YouTube. Shameless plug. Hand history review. Micro stakes, but
watch me on Twitch as well. If you don't know about my channel as well, twitch.tv/Spraggy. There you go. Always promoting. Can we do that?
That's the one thing that might make me break my quarantine is if I start watching you on Twitch and YouTube.
You have to leave.
Run wild into the streets.
Here we go. Yeah.
It really is so hard. Like it looks so easy when you watch streamers, and just like the really good ones, obviously, like Lex, who like really do a really good job, and they just like they bounce back and forth between like strat and like chat and just, you know what I mean, like, and it just looks kind of so effortless. And I kind of tried to do a little like test run for myself, and it's harder than it looks. It really is. So.
Well, Lex is the best, isn't he? We've done GPI Player of the Year discussions on this podcast, presumably, in a previous episode.
Not that we didn't know that he won, I don't think.
Oh, Streamer of the Year nominations this year were Lex Veldhuis, my good friend Lex, me, Matt Staples, and Pav, all in Pav, Hristovoy Pavlovich, which was great. I think the other three guys really, because, the previous year's GPI, there was some of the nominations in all categories were a little bit off, but GPI this year I think did really well, and I was very pleased to be nominated. But we're lying in bed watching the award ceremony from here in the UK, and it goes Streamer of the Year, and it comes up Lex Veldhuis, Benjamin Spragg, Matt Staples, and Hristovoy Pavlovich. Cut back to Maria Ho, and the winner is Lex Veldhuis. And she goes, "Oh, Lex is the best." She goes, "Oh, Lex is the best." And I'm like, one of the nominees who just got shunned, who just got snubbed by the Academy, is right here.
Oh,
Lex is the best. I mean, he is, but like, I hear it every day. I don't even hear it from you.
By the way, Lex and Spraggy are best friends, so he's,
And he is the best.
Marle's going to keep you humble. It's good. It's good to have someone to keep you humble.
I mean, of course I wanted Sprooks to win, but I also, it was very deserving,
It was very deserving.
Yeah.
And the other guys too. They really
it was a good group. It was a solid group.
But I think you're right in terms of streaming. It is harder than it looks. And it's a
show. It really is a show.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like you're just hanging, but there's a lot to it. You got to do some people go heavy on the strat and they really go, you know what I mean? They go all in on that. And some people just like talk no strat. And I think it's a really
I think there's a stream for everybody on Twitch, right? Like there's a little something for everyone. Tournaments, cash games. You're going to be streaming cash games. Obviously, I play tournaments. Yeah. It's like if you want strat heavy stuff, you can find strat heavy stuff. If you want people who are like really, really good at the game, or if you want people like me who's more just like goofing around, like I do okay, I'm winning, but like I'm talking through my thought process, but like I'm not like deep in the solvers. I'm there for more. You want to hang out, have a good time. Yeah. We like playing cards. I like playing cards. Let's share whatever. Then there's something for everybody. I love Twitch. I really do love Twitch. I think it's excellent for poker. Imagine back when I remember when I first started out, I would search high and low for poker content. I would watch. I don't know, Jamie, if you remember, or Marle, remember Tough Fish?
Yeah.
The old Tough Fish videos where he would just like tilt out of his mind. Like those are YouTube videos. I would get everything I could find. But now, if you're coming up in poker now, it's like you have 24/7. There's somebody going to be on playing who you can directly interact with. And if you don't like this guy or this girl, whatever, there's like 50 channels on all the time. Mm-hmm. So you can find an entry point to poker where it's like, okay, I like hanging out here. And almost all streamers these days are running some sort of home game or promotion or get involved and, things like that. So it's like you enjoy the game and it's a very, very easy way for you to get involved because you can come and play with the person you're watching and all the other people in the chat. Mm-hmm. And I see that now even on my stream is we'll do things where like I'm not even playing, but there's a home game running of the people that are in the chat, right? Like I'm playing my session and those guys are off having a game outside. Really? So I mean, that's fun. I honestly think Twitch is one of the best mediums to expose people to poker in a not necessarily like you've got to go out there and be a professional player and you got to go and win. Like it's a very, very fun poker environment and like non-intimidating poker environment. And I do think that, as we spoke about during this lockdown, potential quarantine or whatever, I hope to see a lot of people hanging out. And like I say, I think it's a very valuable tool, not just for poker, but for, like social things, people finding a sense of community. That
was my favorite part. Sorry if I keep moving the camera because the little dude just needed to be highlighted there. I really liked on Twitch when I first started streaming. I only did it briefly when I was with Party New Jersey. It was exhausting because you do have to try to be entertaining and also try to win at poker at the same time. You don't want to be losing money and teaching people how to lose. But something really cool happened after about a few months of doing it. I was only doing it once a week. Everyone in the chat started to be friends with each other. And I was like, this is so much easier now when like I'm playing and I'm like chatting or whatever. And then they're like having a side conversation. And it was like a very social thing where like there'd be 100 people, but they're all talking to each other about Game of Thrones or whatever else is happening. And I was like, this is so nice. You like made a chat room for people to like hang out in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's really good for now. If people are feeling isolated, you'll get tired. Like if we're really on lockdown for a while, like you're going to get tired of having the same conversations where like not a whole lot is going on in your life. You're not leaving the house. You're not like really doing anything new.
Yeah.
And so it's like a way to just talk to a lot more people about stuff and like maybe get better at poker. And I definitely think that people should be watching Twitch. I think you're coming into Twitch at a really good time, Marle. I think like just being fun and like exciting is going to give people something to do instead of just be bored.
And give myself something to do too. And obviously with online poker, like I have little to no experience with it. And so I think it'll just help me get better as well. Like if for nothing else, it'll be worth it just to have that and get some stats.
Yeah.
See how bad I'm losing. See how much I'm losing.
Hemorrhaging money, I would imagine. But what you'll also find is when you're playing, you'll be articulating your own thought process, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and also there's kind of not a pressure, but an expectation on yourself that people are watching, people are listening. You don't want to come across as an idiot, right? So you're going to think through your hands and make sure you're putting your best foot forward. I would recommend that to anyone who's, if you do feel like you'd be somewhat comfortable or confident in front of a camera, stream, get out there. If you're going to play a session, you're bored and like you want to try something else, like you say, Jamie, have some sort of interaction during this period, jump on Twitch. Most PCs, laptops, whatever, got a webcam in. You don't need much else. Like you got a built-in microphone, and then if you can enjoy it, you can get better equipment down the road. But there's nothing to stop anybody just going live on Twitch and hanging out with a few people and playing cards. And like I say, we're all poker players. We all enjoy this, and there's thousands of people out there who are ready to enjoy it with you. So I'd definitely recommend. And it might be a little tougher at the start, like you say, Jamie. It's easier once you've got a community built up, in that there's less onus on you to provide the entertainment. People you can bounce off the chat the busier it gets. But even if there's start off with 3, 4, 5, 6 viewers, I did. And it's enjoyable from the start if that's the sort of thing.
Yeah. And what are you up to now? Like 12, 13 viewers?
Yeah. Now on good days we hit 20, 30. Yeah. It's I've only
really
been doing it for
like
4 years, so it's baby steps,
Yeah. It's really your mom. She has like 4 accounts. She's on her phone or laptop or desktop.
You see those guys driving around playing Pokemon Go, and they've got like 30 phones on the bike, so they catch all the Pokemon. That's my mom at home. She's like 30 viewers. It's just her on like old phones. Yeah, but she supports me.
Yeah. You know what though? She also made the comment that she was happy that her favorite Twitch streamer won the award.
Yeah.
Yeah. She loves Lex too. Everybody loves Lex, huh? What a guy.
Yeah. Unstoppable.
The best.
What else?
I wanted to ask you guys, because I know at least Marle is into like going to the gym and stuff. Are you guys doing anything? Because like I saw some people are offering like free yoga streams and like whatever Instagram Live. Like I saw some people who are like personal trainers doing sessions. I was wondering what you guys are doing.
Us guys, nothing, but me, yes.
I'm in my normal routine.
Yeah, this guy has never seen a gym.
I'm in my regular routine. I've actually, I've got a standing desk.
Yeah, you got a standing desk.
Can you see that moving up?
Yeah.
So he has to stand now when he streams. So he does squats.
You see that? That's a standing desk. So I stream 8 hours a day sat down, but now 1 hour out of that 8, I stand up. So I'm perfect physical specimen, finely tuned athletic machine.
Yeah.
You've been working out, haven't you?
Yeah, actually, we just went to the store. I got some little just weights and like a yoga mat and stuff, and I just go for those runs. Obviously, it's limited, but I've been doing a little bit every day, just to keep a little bit. Running is good too because it gives you that feel like you like are leaving and like going somewhere. I'm like, get me out of here.
Yeah.
So
her running route is she just enters into the running app as far away from Spragg as possible.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Marle was just saying she loves running. It had nothing to do with quarantine or sickness or anything. She was just like, get away from Spraggy for a good hour. Yeah. Come back. I can tolerate him again. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good. But it is hard to to find motivation too, because I feel like what motivates me to like go to the gym extra is like when I'm out and like doing things and I'm like, yeah, but when I'm just sat at home all day, it's like, I don't really want to just go kill it. You know what I mean?
I know. I'm having that struggle too. It's weird because like we and you have talked about this before where I'm like, I don't have that thing where I'm like, oh, I want to like look so good and like wear this pretty dress or blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't care that much, but I guess I care a little bit because I'm just like, oh, whatever. I'm just going to be a fat piece of shit at home. At least I don't have to put a bikini on. Like that's my mindset still, where it's like, usually people are like, oh, I want to get in shape for the summer, blah, whatever your reasons are. And I'm like, who cares? Like Crouton's going to sit here and be like, you got fat. Chris doesn't care. Me and Chris are sitting on the couch, like eating Fritos. You know, I'm like, I have to like think about this though. Cause like being healthy is super important right now. So
that too.
We're going on walks, but I'm not really like doing a whole lot. I really should tap into some of these, like these people who are doing good things for other people. Like they're putting on Instagram Live and giving free workouts. I'm like, that's a really nice thing to do. I should definitely take advantage of that.
Yeah, for sure.
We had some vitamin C, didn't we?
Yeah,
I've got some vitamin C. Had a banana.
Yeah.
But then conversely, I also have a 20 pack of Jaffa cakes here, which are like little mini chocolate cakes.
Yeah,
so we don't have balance in all things, isn't it? Balance in all things.
We haven't been eating great, but more like hearty good. Try to, you know.
I feel good. I feel strong. Feel healthy.
Yeah.
I'm right for now. Why are you laughing, Jamie?
I'm not laughing. I was nodding in agreement. But I said in our chat, like me and Marle were talking about this earlier, I said, if this coronavirus takes Tom Hanks out, I am going to barehanded fight this coronavirus in the octagon and only one of us are coming out alive.
Yeah, Tom Hanks is like the first guy. It's like everybody loves Tom Hanks.
And Idris Elba. I love Idris Elba.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks, I had seriously, then Marle will be devastated. There's a Tom Hanks story where he had this huge suite in a hotel and this maid told a story about she knocks on the door to clean this place, which probably taking like an hour, and he goes, oh no, you can just like hang out in here. He's like, I'm busy, just hang out and like press the button that says you clean the room, you can just take an hour off. That's who Tom Hanks is. Why does he get the virus?
What a guy. Yeah, it doesn't discriminate. No, McDonald said actually that's the only good thing about the virus is it doesn't discriminate.
Yeah,
I saw that. He's like one positive thing.
That's a funny joke.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, there's been some funny stuff on Twitter and stuff. Yeah,
I again, like you've got to, obviously it's a very serious situation, but you know that's comedy. That's, you know, you need a bit of that too. That's what I think. You know, Twitch is important. Keep people. It's like with this podcast as well. I know obviously we've spoken about it a lot, but you got to find. You got to stay positive for your mental health as well, for staying in quarantine like this. I think that's, for most of us, it seems like that's going to be as important as your physical health, right? Because a lot of young people, we're staying away so that we don't infect other people who are going to feel the real physical repercussions of it, vulnerable for whatever reason. But I think, you know, mentally, you got to be able to try and find light in every scenario. Right.
Yeah. Especially if this goes on, like if this goes on and we're just like chilling with not a whole lot to do, and there's a lot of people who are bored and by themselves. I don't want to talk about coronavirus every day, like for 100 days straight. Like we know what's happening, like learn what the best practices are, follow them. And then when you're already doing that, like distance yourself from it a little bit, just like watch movies, read books, like get better at something, like learn something you've been waiting to learn, like talk to your friends, call your grandma, stuff like that. But I feel like if we just every single day talk about this, it'll be the most depressing thing and it's like completely unproductive.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that. It's like, we know what, like you say, we know what you got to do now. You know, isolate as much as we can, wash your hands, try and stay, you know, eat well, sleep well. Outside of that, I think it can be really detrimental to constantly be scrolling Twitter, seeing the latest bad news, and then you kind of get lost in your own head a little bit. So use the time wisely. That's probably my biggest fear, poker-wise, is that everyone spends his time, gets really good at poker.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking that too.
Everyone's quarantined for like a month, and they're all in the solvers all day, and I'm already like, you know, just about getting by, and I'm lazy, so I'm not going to study. Like, I'm not studying poker. You know, what am I in there, right? So these people are going to study poker for a month. I'm going to come back, and they're all going to smash me. I'm out of a job. You know.
I've been forcing him to study though a little bit.
Yeah,
we've been doing a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely study now more that we're.
Olaf's here, baby.
Yes.
More that we're together. I can try and get him in.
Try to get him in. Our new cat, Olaf, is trying to make an appearance. Oh, come on, buddy.
You coming in?
Come on. Oh.
Should I pick him up?
Yeah, just grab him and put him on the webcam.
I'm so excited.
Here he is.
You little grouchies.
You know, like every other orange cat, he looks like that. Yeah, there he is.
Oh, the angel. He's got a grouchy face. He's got a very grouchy face.
I'm telling you, that is not a grouchy cat. A grouchy cat will never let you pick it up like that.
Yeah, he's reasonable.
Well, that's the thing. They sold him like he was a real terror. But previously, he was in a family. Yeah. He was in a family with 5 kids. So I think it's like the kids don't know any better. They just want to pet him. They want to fuss him. They want to mess around with him. And the only way that he could get time on his own is to like lash out, is to scratch and be like, leave me alone. Right. Mm-hmm. And like you say, being in the shelter for months probably didn't help his disposition either, because it's a very high stress situation. Mm-hmm. But since he's been back here and, he's kind of left to his own devices a little bit, but he's okay. Like he's approachable, isn't he? But we give him as much space as he needs and just letting him settle in. But he's good as gold, isn't he? Really? Mm-hmm. I mean, he's only bit you once.
Yeah.
And that was because you were fussing. Yeah.
I was like, hi.
Yeah. It's really funny. Marle actually like sold Spraggy to me the same exact way. Like when we were hanging out for her birthday, she was like, listen, he's an asshole. He's got a terrible personality. Like he's pretty grumpy. And she was like, just put up with him so that, like it's just easier for our friendship if you put up with him. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And then I was pleasantly surprised that he was only like mildly obnoxious.
Yeah. I'm if I get on well with the people I'm around, I'm all right.
Yeah,
there's so very few of them.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
He's very moody. Very moody.
I'm not really. I'm a happy-go-lucky kind of guy. Really. Yeah.
That's how I would describe you as happy-go-lucky.
Happy-go-lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not at all bitter.
No, the last bastion of positivity. That's what I am.
Yeah.
I really am. Positive mental attitude, solid outlook on life.
I think, I don't even know how much time we're doing this, but I think a good wrap up to this would be to ask Timex to put on poker shares when they think you guys are going to break up because of quarantine.
Me and Marle?
Yeah.
Don't, because I don't want to get involved in, I don't want to get involved in some sort of insider trading betting thing, because I'll just load up on the breakup and then just be an asshole for days, like even more of an asshole for days, and just like, oh, you're sick of me yet? The problem is, like, just know where to go.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I'm that's what I was realizing. I'm like trapped here now. I mean, because obviously I'm a citizen. I can go home whenever, but it's getting more difficult to travel.
And it's getting riskier. Like if more people are sick and more people are like rushing to get home. If you saw, I'm so happy you didn't come back. Like it would be nice to be doing our pods together and stuff. But Chicago O'Hare Airport had like hundreds of people 1 inch apart from each other waiting to get screened to come back in. And I was looking at it like, dude, if I was the virus, I couldn't have planned it better.
I know.
Right, yeah.
I'm like, sweet, awesome. A bunch of hosts to pass it back and forth. And they're waiting there to get screened for a virus. So, like, at least a few people are sick. It's just like such a shit show, man. I really wish that like I had some faith in the way that everything's being handled, but no.
Well, yeah, that was our thought, because, as you say, there is a travel ban at the moment. I think the EU may have just put one in today of like travel into the EU. There was originally the Europe-wide travel ban, and then a couple of days later expanded to the UK. But it's like, why did you exclude the UK when all the Europeans, if they wanted to come to the US, they just fly to London and then fly? You know what I mean? Just go into the UK and then off.
It was the most random thing. It was just like, hey, the UK, we like that place. We'll take the sick people from there. That's cool. It's like, who cares? Yeah,
the whole thing seems a little bit like no one really has it's bizarre that there isn't some sort of more deliberate action plan from everybody. I think that's like, if there is this happened, here's exactly what's going to go into effect immediately. It seems everyone's a little bit haphazard, but I looked up flights just, out of curiosity. I think there was nothing flying to Vegas, because you're only, even returning US citizens are going in through specific airports, I believe. But there were flights to LA. But like you say, the pictures that I saw were like thousands of people queuing up at the airport to get screened and processed to come back in. And the whole thing seems a bit of a nightmare.
It's wild that it would be understandable if we were the first country hit. I would be like, okay, this is a shit show, and it should be a shit show because like we don't no one's expecting it. Yeah. But when we're not even close to the first country hit, and we have a problem like that in an airport, I was like, come on, guys, like it just makes me really like nervous, and I don't know. I like, there's nothing like, you know, it sucks to be someone who just like, I'm a poker player. I'm like, I can't really do anything about it except for be annoyed.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're all good. We don't need to travel. You don't need to travel. Like you say, we are very lucky. We're just gonna chill here for as long as it takes, and take it, you know, day by day, week by week, and see when it calms down. You'll have Marle back on the sofa in no time, and hopefully we'll be resuming some sort of normality soon enough.
Yeah, you hear that, Crouton? Marley's gonna come back and hang out with you real soon.
Okay? Do you think he recognizes us?
Dude, I don't know. There's times he like looks at screens and he'll like watch TV when there's a dog on it, but I don't know. I think right now, like, you can't feel too bad for Crouton. He has his people around and we're just like spoiling him. And yeah, I mean, he's benefiting from this terrible virus, but yeah, everybody else is screwed.
The baby.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should wrap it up. Any other plugs or things you want to talk about?
Wash your hands and that.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Yeah.
Stay safe. Listen to people smarter than us. Don't listen to people on Twitter. Listen to people who know what they're talking about. Scientists, World Health people. Look after yourselves. Look after yourselves.
Yeah, and also tip people. Like, if you need someone's service, if you like run out of food and you like order a bunch of food and someone brings it to you, like, just over tip. This is one time, like, if you have spare money, just use it on people who are obviously taking a hit.
That's a good point.
Look after each other as well.
If people are working now, it's obviously because, you know, whatever. But all right. Well, thanks, Spraggy.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me on, you two. I'm a big fan of the Rake. And obviously, previously, I've been sat in on recordings, kind of in a camera operating situation. But it's great to finally spend some time on the camera with you guys.
From director to actor.
I can do it all.
Yeah.
It's nice to see you guys. And yeah, hopefully next week we should talk about fun things. Hopefully we have the energy to do so.
Yeah, hopefully there's some improvement. But until then, thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.
All right, bye.